Okay, the Lexicon of Hate. I didn't see this video until um, after I watched the other one, and uh, or today is what I mean. I didn't see it until after I made the video that I made, responding to it. So I may as well go ahead and respond to the current video. Now, the Lexicon of Hate. You say that you got a lot of negative feedback. I don't see how this is any point. If you are blatantly wrong about something, you should get negative feedback. I mean that would only be expected. I don't see how somebody should be wrong. Well, I'm sure several people are wrong about things and they get positive feedback for it. But the point is that if you're wrong about something and people know that you're wrong and there's good reasons to be wrong, which I don't know what those good reasons may be, or even if they think they have good reasons, they're going to say something bad, or not necessarily bad, but negative. So of course you're going to get negative feedback, particularly if it involves rights of somebody. They're going to get pretty pissed. That should be expected. I mean, you can't create that video and then turn around and create another video saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be mean to me because I tried to infringe on what you consider your rights." No, that's not going to happen. It should be obvious that that's going to happen. Anyway, then you go on to say that your point was about Sarah Palin and the shooter that shot I don't know the senator's name, and that was the point you were trying to make. That's very funny because the end of your video, what you leave us with is, how is it rational to let people have guns, knowing that there are shootings done with guns? So I don't see how those two match up whatsoever. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that in the comments section, you even put, "Is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" And then you link to a Wikipedia article called "Concealed Carry in the United States," which I've actually looked at, and I came to a completely different conclusion that you did. Uh, basically the conclusion I came to was that in most states there is a process by which you go through, which it even says in the article. You don't mention this in the first video. There's even an article about how uh, in the Wikipedia article about how most states have, or well, some states it says have laws saying that you have to get rights to do this, and in Kentucky you have to actually go through courses. I know that. And anyway, so basically what I take is that you're trying to. This is the way that it seems. Now, I'm not saying that this is the case. Maybe your point very well is valid, that it's about Sarah Palin. I'm going to get on that here in a minute, but basically, you seem to be switching topics to prevent, well, to save face, to keep yourself from, well, basically, you made a thought experiment that almost nobody agreed with. Now you're saying, well, it was about Sarah Palin, which I can't find that anywhere in your first video. Maybe it's there and I just can't find it. Whatever. So Sarah Palin and the shooter. Suddenly, because somebody is crazy enough to take a gun and shoot someone, because the senator that they liked just so happened, or the senator, some politician they like just so happened to dislike somebody and say a couple of things about guns and shoot people, or say something about guns and how that we should target them, things like this. Somebody shoots them, possibly for those reasons, possibly for other reasons, and you're instantly making the relationship that is the case. Now, be that as it may, we'll just go ahead and assume that this person did this because of Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin caused it. And I'm not saying she did. I'm just saying that we will assume that. The reason that I have difficulty thinking that this is even a good reason to have an argument is this. Many people have committed many horrible atrocities for much, much worse reasons. If you even read original American history, there are original American history, what the fuck am I saying? If you even read American history, which I don't read much American history, but from what I have read, I do recall many senators fist fighting each other. And in fact, there was one instance where one on the left party picked up a cane and beat the shit out of somebody on the right hand party. I don't remember which of the founding fathers it was got into a fight like that, but that happened. you know, and if so, there's no historical claim. I mean, is it a good thing that happens? No, but it did happen. So now, am I saying that's a good thing? I'm not. I'm just saying that this has happened before, but not with guns. In fact, it was senators that were fighting because they were trying to decide what the fucking laws should be, and what we should base our everything off of. And so basically, there have been a lot of worse reasons that people have done a lot of worse things that didn't involve guns to get upset about, that were just as illegal, that were just as wrong, that were just as everything. Why this? Uh, you know, this isn't nearly as bad as, say, I don't know, um, this isn't nearly as bad as what happens to children in schools. It's not nearly as bad as what happens to children in churches. It's not nearly as bad as what happens to full-grown adults in the workforce. It's not nearly as bad as the healthcare problem. It's not nearly as bad as any of this. So why be upset about guns that killed one person? Because if this is your reasoning, it killed one person and possibly more. I mean, definitely more. But that you're not using as a point. You're using the Sarah Palin thing as a point, and then you're pointing to the media and saying they shouldn't be saying these things, which is another point I had to make. You jumped from people shouldn't carry guns, the media shouldn't say things like this. I think it's been pretty much proven that the media has very little influence over, well, no, that's not true. Forms of media don't affect people as some parties would like to push forward. And video games are a good example. Video games don't affect people nearly as much as, basically, people claim video games do things, but psychologists have difficulty finding what the hell these people are claiming that these video games are causing. So exactly what are you getting at with the media? I mean, maybe the media did cause this. Shit, I don't know. If they wouldn't have reported anything Sarah Palin said like that, and she wouldn't have put posters up, which is definitely media, maybe it wouldn't have happened, but maybe it still would have. Maybe he just didn't like him. And you know, think about it like this. Let's look at this in other terms. Sarah Palin never says anything like this. This guy still doesn't like this guy, takes a gun in there and shoots somebody. So basically, you don't have a point with the media. You don't have a point with Sarah Palin because you switched points from the first video, or it seems that you did. And even if that were your original point, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't show anything. It just, you're trying to say you don't like guns. It's that fucking simple. Which, again, I have no opinion. If people want to pack guns, by all means, let them pack guns. If they don't, by all means, don't. I really don't care. I'll never own a permit to a gun. I never carry a concealed weapon, at least not a gun. You know, I've carried knives, if you consider that a concealed weapon, but I don't really, because, I mean, they're useful. With the exception of Alaska. What I mean is that, on a kind of humorous note, I guess, I think that is one state where one should definitely be able to carry guns, and that's because pretty much it's step out of your car and step into the environment, no matter where you are. There are bears and all kinds of shit up there, and it's just really dangerous. Not everywhere, of course, but anywhere that's scenic. So, yeah, I guess that would be an exception to carrying whatever.